Welcome everyone to the Explanation Zone, and today we're going to be talking about the expected value of college. My name is Jaime Romero, and let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to be talking about actually is a college that everyone has on their mind, Harvard, and we're going to be talking about the value of it. So the value of a Harvard education, right? Undergraduate, obviously. And we're going to be using this equation for expected value, so EV. This is going to be equal to the salary that we have coming out of college, assuming that you might be a little bit above, a little bit below, the amount of years that we work. We're going to be multiplying that by the probability that we actually get a job right after college. And at the end, the probability of us graduating minus the cost. Okay, perfect. Is equal to salary. PJ is equal to the probability of us getting a job. And then PG is the probability of us graduating. Okay, perfect. Now, when it comes to Harvard, okay, the exit salary is going to be close to $90K. Okay. And then our probability of getting a job is going to be close to 84% right out of college. And the probability of graduation is going to be 97.8%, or for our equation, 97.978. Now, how did I get these numbers? I went to the specific college that I was thinking of, School of Public Health. We go in to see their median salaries, how they're distributed, and then we obviously go to their graduation rate. And then why would you think this is important to look up? Well, for example, Phoenix University has a percentage of 28.2. So we all know that this could be a large factor. We also need to understand the tuition cost for our C, and we'll just keep that in mind, okay? Perfect. So now we have all these values, and the cost is equal to $52,000 a year, okay? And what we really care about for cost is essentially cost is going to be our amortized cost times the amount of periods that we're going to pay this for, so A times N, and A is actually going to be equal to our principal times I, 1 plus I to the N over 1 plus I to the N plus 1, where P is equal to principal, okay? Principal amount, so the amount that we initially have to pay. I is going to be the interest rate over the period. So, for example, if you have a 5% interest rate for college, in a month, you would just divide this by 12, and this would end up being your value. And then N is equal to the number of periods you must pay. Okay, and once you have all these values, you get A, the amount of money you have to pay each period, or in our case, cost per month. And if you do all of this, you will find that a Harvard education will actually cost you that all of this is equal to $333K. Okay, that's going to be your cost. And our years, just going back to this to get the final value, we're going to assume 48, which is going to be 70 years old when you retire, assuming that, and that you get out of college at around the age of 22. Okay, perfect. Once we use all of these values right here that we have here, we find that the expected value of a Harvard education is $3.2 million. Cash that in the bank. It's good to know. What we're going to do next is we're going to take this, right? Take this value, and we're going to apply it and compare it to a other type of education. We're going to compare this Harvard education, okay, versus something like UMass. Not to slander them or anything, but when you take into account all the information, you actually end up with 1.23 million of expected value. So obviously, we know we want to go to Harvard instead of UMass, but for all intents and purposes, this gives us an idea of how much better it is. And I can show you the math and the values that I used for this.